Lunchmeat and Life Lessons, Sharing a Butcher's Wisdom, a Memoir and Tribute to My Father, by Mary B. Lucas, B.D. Read by Mary B. Lucas, B.D. Forward. Although I am proud of my bachelor's degree and will forever be loyal to my alma mater, ultimately nothing can compare to the letters of distinction my father bestowed upon me, my B.D. degree, which stands for Butcher's Daughter. I earned my B.D. by spending hours seated across the butcher block table in my mother's kitchen, my classroom, listening to my father's lessons about how to deal with life's beginnings and endings and all the ups and downs in between. All were lessons I could apply to my own life, wisdom that helped me to be a successful executive as well as a more loving and committed wife and mother. Nearly 25 years have passed since I was hired for my first real job as a staffing coordinator at a temporary help service. I found myself working in the ultimate people business, and I really loved that it was so simple to explain what I did. I helped people find the work they wanted, and companies find the people they wanted. It was during this time that I got my first lessons in butcher's wisdom from my father. When I left to start my own consulting company, I was still at the top of my game in the people business, making more money than I had ever imagined I would make, and having just earned another promotion. I had become one of the top executives in a staffing company with annual revenues of more than $2 billion. And even in the midst of enormous change and many leaders at my level coming and going through the executive revolving door, I had made it. I credit my B.D. degree as the number one reason I flourished in the people business and continue to thrive in an industry where many people grow tired of people. I made it by keeping myself motivated and in turn motivating others. However, when you work in an industry that is solely reliant on people as their product, you have to work at getting re-inspired and re-motivated on a regular basis. Like many other executives, I drew from Stephen Covey and his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I revered the secrets Tyler Bracy reveals in his book, Managing from the Heart. Oddly enough, I also found great support on difficult days from the simplicity of the messages in 2 children's books, Move On Frog and Lily's Purple Plastic Purse. But more than anywhere else, I drew inspiration from my most cherished source, the lessons I learned from the time spent with my father. Chapter 1. In the Beginning. This story starts on a Wednesday morning in May of 1980, 3 days after I graduated from college. I had earned a B.S. in journalism and mass communications from Kansas State University. Like my sisters before me, I planned only to work temporarily until I was married and had children. However, my life didn't turn out that way. The day after I graduated from K-State, I had come home to live at my parents' house where I looked for a job. That first day home, Monday, full of enthusiasm, I had walked into a temporary help office to see if they could place me for the summer until I could find a real job at an advertising agency. I filled out an application at this temporary employment agency, hoping they could find me a job somewhere. Instead, when they read my qualifications and interviewed me, they asked me if I would like to work for them, right there in their office, helping other applicants find jobs throughout the city. My yes was immediate. I was told to wait for their call telling me whether or not I had the job. 2 days later, Wednesday, I was lounging out in the late morning sun on our second-floor deck in a bathing suit, my body slathered in iodine and baby oil. It may sound crazy, but that's what people my age in Kansas did back then. When my dad called upstairs to tell me I had a phone call. It was the call I'd been waiting for. After I hung up, I came running into the kitchen, still in my bathing suit with a towel wrapped around me, my lanky self all arms and legs waving, my hands and shouting, "I got the job! I got the job!" "You got the job? That's great," my dad said proudly with a big wrinkly smile. He stood up and opened his arms to give me a congratulatory hug, ignoring the fact that I was covered in oil. He had been seated
Sample complete. Ready to continue?